All right, Tony, another year of this thing, year 5 of the Gridiron 7-on-7 League. Man, let's talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Year 5, this time of year, when people start talking about 7-on-7, it becomes a frenzy. And, this year in Knoxville, it's become a huge frenzy, man. There's so many people that are going to participate, in 7-on-7, period.
Yes.
From the travel teams to the league teams. I'm just excited, man. I think it's going to be really good. 2022 is going to be a big year for the Gridiron League.
Yeah, let's talk about the location and, where we're going to be playing and the days that we're going to be playing.
Yeah, absolutely. This year we're going to be at Bearden High School. It's always great to have good relationships, and, that's one thing we always like to wait and just figure out where we want to be at, numbers of teams. And for what we have this year, I think Bearden's going to fit perfect. And, they're happy to have us there, and that's a really big thing.
Let's talk about the high school teams that will be participating in the league this year, Tony. We'll start off with the Admirals. They're a team that participated in the league last year.
Yeah.
A lot of really good players, a good coach. I like their program and what they're doing.
They've been one of the top teams the past few years, from the 15U up to even last year as some young guys in the high school league.
We got Seymour playing in the league this year. That's another repeat team from last year as well.
Yeah, Seymour is one of those teams. They really caught on near the end of the year last year. They're going to have a QB transition this year, but I think the kids are excited this year at Seymour. They're hoping for a big year, in football and 7-on-7.
Campbell County Cougars, a team that did really well in our league last year, had one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and Hunter White.
Yeah, Hunter White's the career leader in touchdowns thrown over the past 4 years. I think he's got 100 touchdowns in the past 4 seasons.
Wow.
But, they're having a transition also. They're going to have the Hensley kid that's moving on up. I think he was a freshman last year. Going to be a sophomore this year. Or he may be a freshman this year. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. I'll have to check on that. But, they're going to have a really good team, man. They've been exciting each year. And, Campbell County always shows up. They're going to have a 15U and a high school team, actually.
Betsy-Bilt, really good team last year. Came out of the Elizabethton area, took the league really by storm.
Yeah, Betsy-Bilt's a good squad, man. They got a good quarterback, good athletes. They've got a good program from, it shows when teams come down from good cities and good areas, they always have good programs.
Team Up Black.
Team Up Black's a new team this year. We've got 2 Team Up teams. We've got Team Up Black is really Mojo from last year, but they're going to have a little transition of different types of players. They had a tryout, so it's not just their school team. So, they're going to be pretty good, I'd say. Granger County, that's one of my guys. Bennett is one of the quarterbacks over there. He's looking to, improve. And, that's one of the biggest things we've talked about with the 7-on-7 league over the years. Some teams, use it to try to win the championship, but some teams really want to develop their team, get some confidence, and be able to transition into the high school season. That's really what, we try to utilize this thing for. And so I'm looking forward to Granger getting out there. His buddies have been coming out, running routes and that sort of thing. So, I think they'll have some fun with this year.
The Crushers, they're a team that played under another name last year, but
that was the Rebels last year. They've been the Rebels the past couple of years. Kai Beasley's quarterback, Tim Beasley's coach over there. They've got a good program. Looking forward to those guys. They changed their name this year, so it's always fun to watch these guys get creative as they do this thing, and start kind of coming in their own.
Jefferson County.
Jeff County. Isaiah Hall, I think about him a lot.
Big-time quarterback.
One of the guys I've trained for years. Broke his ankle last year, but Jeff County, had a big year this past year. For their season. I think they made the playoffs first time in years. So, hopefully Isaiah will get healthy. He's working on that ankle, and hopefully Jeff County will come out and have a really good season this year.
Grace Christian.
New team. This is one of the teams that's never really participated in the league, but got some good kids, good players, and look forward to really seeing those guys come out and compete with us.
Clinton Dragons, a team that played in our league last year, they had some big time players.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got to probably be one of the only potentially 4-year starting quarterbacks. With Josh Keith, he started his freshman year after an injury with Trace Thackerson, and then started his last year as a sophomore year and gave Clinton their first winning season in 7-8 years, I think is what it was, 5 to 7 years. So look forward to Clinton, putting things together, definitely, since that's kind of the home team on my personal end. So
Morristown East
is a new team. They're a team that, I think we had a mixture of guys played on the team last year with, I can't remember who they were playing with, but those guys, the best thing about it, right, they had 3 or 4 guys get on the team and play and had fun. Now their whole high school team is going to get together and have their own team, and that's, really part of what we're trying to do. Yeah, absolutely. CAK is a new school. Coach over there, David Presley is the one that he's put the 7-on-7 together. They've participated probably the past 4 years. Always have good athletes, good teams. Got a couple of their quarterbacks training right now. So, looking forward to those guys, getting back in here and playing with us this year.
The Veterans, a new team in the league.
Yeah, the Veterans it's a new team, but it's a lot of old faces. We talked about Hunter White earlier. A lot of times these seniors, 7-on-7 is fun. People enjoy it and have a good time with it. And, Hunter's a senior, so Campbell County's got their own team, but Hunter and some of the other seniors around the area decided, hey, let's make a team and have some fun for this one last go-around. So I gave them the name Veterans. Okay. They'll come up with their own name as we get going, but that's what I can come up with as we was going with it.
Carnes Beavers.
Carnes Beavers, huh? We had a 12U team first year we played. Actually the second year we played. And all those boys right now are like 9th graders, 10th graders. And so Carnes is going to come back out. We joke, this is always fun and everything. We joked around with them when they called, said, you can't hand it to Deshaun. You can't hand it to Bishop. You got to throw it to him, But, I'm glad to have Carnes out there. I think if they develop their passing game with Bishop back there running the ball, no telling, they could have another big season for those guys.
And some guys that have been with us for a while out of the Chattanooga area, the Wolf Pack.
Yeah, Chattanooga Wolf Pack. Terry Matthews, good.
Always got big-time players on his team.
Yeah, absolutely. He's built his program, man. He's got a handful of teams now. One of those good guys that we met, over the years that's really been working hard to grow his area and to add to his community and those type of things. So, the Wolf Pack, they're going to be competitive and, just look forward to them coming out week one and seeing what they really got because we don't know.
They'd probably be my early season favorite in the high school division, potentially.
Yeah, potentially because, they're going to have a mixture of, Chattanooga. So it should be a good deal.
All right, Tony, let's talk about our 8th and 9th grade varsity division for year 5 of the Gridiron 7-on-7 League.
No, yeah, Carlos, our varsity division, man, it's going to be a good division this year. Over the years, the varsity division has grown, last year to a point where we had 15 teams in the varsity division, and then our high school teams, I think we had right at the same thing, 15, 16 teams. So, this year, we had some teams that had played in the varsity division for basically 2 years, and we had a handful of guys move up. So we don't have as many teams in the 15U, but I think it's going to be really competitive.
Definitely. Let's talk about some of the teams that are going to be participating. The Rising Stars, Tennessee Rising Stars from last year.
Yeah.
Fan favorites.
Yeah, absolutely, man. If you're going to talk about the Gridiron 7-on-7 League, you almost have to add the Rising Stars in there. They've been with us, since we started out with the young guys. They started at 9 years old. They're playing in their 4th year, I believe. And now
Coach Davis and Coach Deontay doing a great job with that program.
Yeah, they've grown it, man, and they got some good athletes.
Yeah,
some of the best athletes in the city at their age group. So they'll have a good team. I think they've also got their 12U squad too, so they've grown the program to 2 teams this year.
The Cougars.
Yeah, the Cougars. Campbell County, same deal. Those boys are they're really into it right now. I think their young quarterbacks actually. He is a 9th grader, I know for sure, because he's going to actually play with both divisions. So, they're just making the most of their time and their effort and reps, really. So he's going to get to play double the games, double the reps, and, they pass the ball a lot at Campbell County. So, hopefully it'll help that guy to, really get ready. Landon's a good little quarterback.
Tim Beasley and the Crushers.
Yeah, they're going to have another team in the 15U division, or our varsity division. So I think they've got a pretty good squad. So, we'll see how it goes with those boys.
Team Up Gray.
Team Up Gray, Penny Smith. Team Up Gray, Team Up Black. So Mojo and Penny decided to kind of come together so they can practice together, build some teams and some chemistry. So, I know Penny's going to have some players out there. They've had a couple scrimmages and, people already been talking about them a little bit.
My alma mater, Bearden.
All right, yeah, Bearden. Bearden's going to have 2 teams in the league this year. And then it's also, we didn't even have set up for the fields when they signed up, but I think it's going to be a good home field advantage for those guys. Should be competitive. I'm curious to see, Bearden's had some really good young teams from the middle school programs come up. So I'm curious to see how their varsity and high school teams actually play this year.
Shout out to their varsity high school coach, Josh Jones, too.
Yeah, congratulations, Josh. You got a good job right there, and, see what he's going to do with it. Being a new head coach, we always talk about everybody's always waiting for you to either fail or rise to the top, and, hopefully he does what he's always done.
Seymour.
Seymour, like we said last year, those guys really had a lot of fun last year near the end of the season. So, I've got one of their young quarterbacks, Madden Guffey, 8th grader, upcoming 9th grader. He can sling. He's one of the top quarterbacks in the state of Tennessee. So, looking forward to those guys getting in there and competing at both age groups.
It's good to see this program back in the fold, Code Blue.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Everything's about relationships sometimes. And, with Code Blue, we started off there. Heck, we even played in 2019 at Anderson County and, took a break. Went to a few other places out in Knoxville, but, got one of their good quarterbacks, Blaine Stansberry, been training that little guy since 5th grade, and, spoke to Coach Gillum and Gary Terry and said, hey, let's get the teams back out there. So we look forward to seeing Code Blue come out and compete with us again this year.
That's our varsity division, year 5. Now, Tony, let's talk about the junior varsity teams that will be participating in year 5 of the Gridiron 7-on-7 League.
Yeah, our JV squads, we've only had that program for 3 years, maybe 3 out of the 5 years.
Very exciting.
Yeah,
Love seeing those little guys.
It is, but we understand the importance of that, though. Because as we saw those older guys coming in there and really not understanding how to even execute the passing game somewhat, you get these little guys in there now, 6th and 7th grade, the very beginning of middle school. Training quarterbacks. I always tell them the 7th grade year is the big year. And 8th grade year is the year you got to be ready. So I think it's really important for those guys to be out there. So, this year we got a good little group. It might be our biggest junior varsity group that we've had in the past few years, actually.
All right, Tony, let's talk about some of the teams. We got South Doyle participating.
Yeah, South Doyle, it's good to get those guys out there. We've always, a lot of their older players at the high school level, generally play on some travel teams. So to be able to get their youth team to come out and be part of this, it's going to be a good year for those guys.
Rising Stars continue to grow their program.
Yeah, Rising Stars, Coach Davis should have a good team. I'm curious to see who he has, though, for this young group, because I know who he's got for the older group. So curious to see who shows up.
Bearden.
Bearden, same thing, just kind of curious to see who shows up, see who they have. I think they'll have some athletes out there.
This Outlaws team that's coming out of the Maryville area.
Yeah, the Outlaws is really a handful of kids that played last year on one team, and they end up switching up and creating their own team or whatnot. So they should have a good team. It'd be fun to watch those guys.
Knox Stream.
Yeah, Knox Stream, another team out of West Knoxville area. Got a handful of good players. Trained one of their quarterbacks, Kyle Clark. He's a 6th grader. Look for good things for those guys. Should be a fun season for them also.
Maybe the biggest bullies in that division, the Goon Squad.
Yeah, Goon Squad, those guys, Coach Antonio, Easterly, they've been part of it with us for, since we got started, really. And, always a good group.
Always got talent.
Always got talent, from top to bottom. So I'm just curious to see who plays our quarterback. I know they got Rocky. I know they got Keyshawn. Those dudes are ballers. So I'm curious to see how it works out for them this year. It'll be a fun time.
The Knox Chiefs.
Knox Chiefs is a new team for us. One little young quarterbacks I train, Kel Fleming. They're from the Grace. I think they're from the Grace Christian area also. So that's kind of another team from that area. So that'd be a good team.
The Avengers.
The Avengers is William Blunt area team. One of the first teams we had from out there in that side of town. So look forward to those guys joining the league. Of course, they'll have a good time. We'll have a good time with those guys also.
And Coach Terry and those guys with the Wolfpack, they got a 12U team.
Yeah, their 12U team is actually really good. I think this will be their 2nd year playing in that division, so their kids should be a little bit older. And, I think they'll have as much talent as anybody. There's going to be a couple good matchups, though. Wolfpack and Rising Stars, Goon Squad, probably the top.
It's hard to pick.
The 3 teams you kind of see that you've seen, every year. And then, everybody's picking up players.
I don't have a favorite in this group right now. I got to see them play.
It's going to be fun.
All right, Tony, that wraps up our promo show for the Gridiron 707 League Year 5, man.
Yeah, we just wanted to get out here and, kind of give you guys a little stint of, who's going to be playing, where we're playing, when we're playing. I think, we're playing on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's at Bearden High School. Come out, check us out. First game is February 13th. We'll start off with the young boys first and move on up through the varsity and the high school groups. Come out, check us out. We're going to leave you with a clip of our one of our promo videos from last year.